Hola, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama, or maybe hide from your baby mama. Just kidding. But anyways, fans, thank you for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Choo choo. And today we have a very special guest who's an actress, director, writer, and one of my good friends. Give it up for Trinity. What's up, girl?
How are you?
I'm doing good, girl. You don't understand. It was a minute to get a hold of you. I had to call a few people, call your agent. Your agent transferred me to a
Oh
hold.
God.
I was like 3 hours in a hold. I was like, man, come on, hurry. You know what
I
I'm saying?
know, man. It's a problem. I know, but I mean, we're here. So, like, you got me. You have my full undivided attention, and I will be so much better on that. But yeah, I'm just really happy. When you texted me, I got so excited. I was
You too funny. You too funny. Well, I'm glad you're here. And I do want to share a little story for people that don't know. So I've interviewed Yuvia, Rami, Naomi, and now I had the chance, and Ali too. And now I have the chance to interview my actually wife on the play. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it was full house. There was people. That's how full we were. And I gotta be honest with you, the first practices, like a few of them, I didn't feel like I did as great. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest. So when I first had the first audition, not the audition, but the rehearsal, um, the director's like, "Man, you did a terrible job in the meeting. Did a terrible job." And I was like, "Dang." She went like, "Terrible, terrible, great, great, awesome job. Keep it up."
That's
And I was,
Rebecca. Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, "Dang, girl, that hurt." But she was telling me the reason why I'm tough on you is because I love you and I want you to do better. And so I said, "Thank you." So she gave me homework, what to do to better my craft. And honestly, I start practicing with my coworkers, my
Mhm.
whole persona of sounding like an old 80-year-old or 40-year-old rich white dude, which was so hard because naturally I'm very no lie, but I sound so like I don't want to say negative word, but like I'm so I guess too laid back. My way of language is very different than very
Mhm.
proper. So it's not, what I'm saying, it's very
Yeah.
different. So it was tough, but I love that my friends they critique me and they're all white and I got so much better. The day of or like two rehearsals before, she's like, "Wow, David, you got so better. I'm proud of you." And also I had to make my girl look good too, because if my wife is gonna be like a star, I can't look like a fool, especially in front of everybody. But that
Yeah.
was, what I'm saying? That was my experience with that production. What about you, girl? Tell me, spill the beans, but don't spill the cream. But tell me, what was your
No, it's just everything that you're saying, it just pertains to the overall experience that we had because it was you were taking a whole bunch of actors that didn't know anything about theater and then kind of putting them through the ringer for, 3 months. So it was one of those things where I feel like good or bad, you came out of it with a much better mindset than you did because we were showing up when we said that we needed to show up or that we were going to show up. Even if we were spending like the last 48 hours working and we all were, as tired, we made extra rehearsals so that then we could actually bring it to where it needed to be. We had huddles where we were like, yo, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want, but get your stuff together because we got a show. Like it was that kind of thing, and it was that kind of camaraderie. So, I didn't know that Rebecca said that the first rehearsal was terrible.
I
I
did
do
bad.
remember. I do remember she was like, I'm a little worried for most of our actors because I really don't know what to expect. But that was in the first couple of weeks. Then we started switching people through. We started getting people really riled up for this project. And you really got to see certain people turn into a different kind of monster and a different kind of beast. And then you were like, fuck, I need to work a little harder now because I don't want to get trampled. that is what theater is. And I'm just so glad that we were able to have that experience because we weren't in the Las Vegas Theater Company. We were just an acting class trying to put on a show. And the show was free. So it's, I just, my experience, because I know that was absolutely no tea, but my experience was, I think my anxiety got the best of me. I feel like I didn't have the experience that I could have because I truly was like, everyone was like, you're the best. And I was like, I'm the worst. Like, I feel like it was that kind of thing where I felt like I was so out of my element that I was going to bring everybody else down. But then that's where your teammates came in, like, or my teammates came in. And I had you, and I remember even squeezing your hand throughout the entire way. When I heard like our lines were coming up, I was like, this is the moment. This is the moment. And that wasn't a reflection of my trust in you, but that was to make sure that like we both were in that together. Like you were my teammate in that moment. And I feel like it's only those experiences as actors where we really we form bonds that, in 20 years we're gonna remember. And I'm just overall grateful that we were even privy to that experience because not a lot of people in Las Vegas are.
Right, right, right.
So I know that was absolutely no tea though, but it was just a built up anxiety. Like that was the tea is well, actually, okay. When you're doing play, learn your lines. Like that was the main thing. I feel like we cheated ourselves out of a couple of rehearsals because some of us weren't really brushed up on our lines as much as we should have. So while things could have been moving like this, things are moving like this. And
Right.
halt because we got to memorize our lines and we got to take a break because all of us are fucking tired. Slow. So I would just say that all of us learned how to, read your fucking lines before you come to a rehearsal. But that's really it. That was all the tea. It was just so great. Everyone that I did the play with, I'm so close to now. And it's been about a year.
It's crazy, right?
It's been about a year. So
So
I'm getting tired of the sound of my own voice. I'm just like, I hope I'm not talking too much.
no, no, you're
But
good.
yeah.
I was gonna say one thing to spill the tea. So we actually had an NFL player who was gonna be a part of the production. He was there like halfway, and he retired. And tell me why. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I first met him, he was so cocky, and I already could tell. I was like, I've done a couple movies. I did commercials. I already know. I was like, he's not gonna
Yeah.
learn his lines. I already know. Halfway,
Want tea?
yeah,
Hold
I
up.
don't
You
got
want me
tea,
to
but
stop?
I got
I
water.
have the tea. I got the tea for you. For that.
Thank you,
You
girl.
want to know it?
What's
You
up?
want to know it?
What's up?
Google search him.
What happened?
You'll find the tea. There's nothing.
Wow,
The tea is we don't even know. Yeah.
that's crazy.
So keep going.
But the crazy thing I gotta say is that he quit 3 weeks our final production. Like we were gonna perform, and I had a feeling. I tried to tell everybody, "Look, he's gonna quit. I already know it."
Yeah.
Luckily, we had somebody to sub in, and he's been trying to reach me out and this and that, and I was like, nah, man. I literally unfollow him on everything because I'm like, I don't have respect for you because we're a team. If you didn't want to
Mm.
do this, just don't show up in the beginning and just do your thing. So that's how I felt. I don't know about you, Trent. What was your reaction? But I bet you felt the same. But
Definitely. I think that when any actor comes into any project, um, if a contract isn't made, if a contract isn't signed, at least a verbal one has been made. A verbal agreement's been made that you're gonna show up. That if there's a rehearsal, you're not going to say, well, I have this to do, I have this to do, when we only have so much time to get this together. I remember we were counting down at some point and we were like, we have 4 rehearsals left. You still didn't show up. But also, let's say that there's a production going on, a multi-million-dollar production. How many rehearsals or how many shoot days would it take for an actor to show up before someone says, we've had enough? How many?
oof, I don't know, girl. You got me with that. I'm already sweating.
After the first hour of the first shoot day, if there is money on the line, we are recasting. That
Wow.
is the standard. Unless there was an actual emergency. And even then, there's still something to be said for the people whose times you are sacrificing. So really make it so you could not show up and maybe you have a chance. So all that's to say, yes, we as actors, we were let down, but it's also up to the people making the decisions of the casting to be like, our actors are being let down because the actors can't just come together and say, you're fired. Like we can't say, we can't be in the group chat like, like, we don't want, but it's like, we all were like, where is this every single rehearsal we were like, where is this person? We can't, we keep having to read his lines. Is he even gonna know what to do? We were creating blocking that he didn't even know about. And all I'm saying is from rehearsal 1 to rehearsal, let's say 8, after 1, 2 max, we were, yeah. So there was just there, I think that something just should have been caught in the beginning. And we ended up having a whole nother person at the end, which is good, but they would have gotten a lot more time in. And it, yeah, and we wouldn't have been cheated out of that time. So I think everything is just, it's a big circular thing. I think as actors, we need to learn how to speak up and we need to learn how to not, like in the moment, we need to know exactly who to go to rather than talking amongst ourselves. Like we're being let down rather than like, because then this one's not constructive, this one is. So I feel like there's lessons all around there that can be learned. One is to show up, the other is to speak up. So
Yeah.
that's what I took from that situation because there was a lot going on. And it
Oh,
either came down to showing up or speaking up.
it's so true, girl. Now, I do want to, change the subject a little bit because this is more about you. And I love what you said, girl. Girl, truth, the truth. But I do want to say, one thing I really like about you is that, you're very. I remember you did poetry. I know you still do it. You're probably still writing
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, I
And
am.
right, and I
Yeah.
do want to know a little bit. So my fans to get to know you a little bit more. Tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about yourself. If you were born and raised in Vegas, and
Oh.
your passions. What is your Tell us a little bit more about you that we don't know, and I love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much an open book. I was born in California. I was raised in Georgia. So I was born in Oakland.
George.
Yeah. And I'll be very honest with you, the only thing I remember was a burrito truck. Like literally, like my family moved me to Georgia when I was 5. So I was literally raised on the East Coast. And I thought the burrito truck was a dream for like 12 years. So so yeah, and I honestly I was into criminal justice and being a lawyer, and I was getting together a portfolio for West Point before I was ever thinking about acting, which is so weird to say and think. But yeah, my dad was telling my family that I was going to Harvard while I was in middle school. I was like, I don't have a GPA yet, but that's cool. Yeah, the man had a dream. So, but yeah, I'm still pursuing my criminal justice degree just because I'm already like ass deep into it. So, but I started acting around 4 years ago, and literally ever since then, I tell a lot of people you wouldn't be able to tell that I was raised in Georgia by the way that I claim Vegas so much. But that was because after I moved here, that's when I started to realize everything that I was truly passionate about and things that if you asked me, 5 years ago, if I was thinking about it, the answer would have been no. So I was raised in Georgia, but Las Vegas is pretty much my home. So that's where I stand with this great state of Nevada, 'cause now I know how to say it. I finally got my Nevada license. My God, poetry. I like to put words together and hopefully sometimes they make sense. And one of my most recent poems was a good 4 months ago. I wrote it. It takes a long time for me to finally put together the puzzle pieces. I have notes and notes and notes of just thoughts. Maybe while I'm driving, I'll come up with like a little thing, like a little sentence or phrase that has a little cadence to it. I'm like, and I can't get it out of my head. So then I'll write it down. Then maybe after, a tough breakup or I had a fight with my mom and it was like something a little pivotal, that's a bit more impactful, then I'll be able to put all of these words together. Like all of these phrases that I've been coming up with. And then turns out it was actually a feeling that I've been holding on to, or, some type of message that I've been trying to get to myself. So that's the way that poetry's been for me. I've been very like weird to share it. I've been trying to be more open about sharing it, which is why I'm trying to do more slams and stuff. But it's very tough because it's like I don't write it thinking like, oh my God, that people are gonna love this shit. It's like, what am I trying to say? Because there's something I need to hear. Um, so I'm actually creating a poetry book because of that. And it's literally just like letters to myself, or the last poem that I made was a letter to my younger cousin, and it was just lessons that I wanted her to know. And then I realized that I was like, fuck, I need to know this too. So it was for the both of us, but it's literally called For Lay, like for Alea. So that's my love for poetry. I've been writing poetry since I was like 8. So yeah, I really hope that I'm answering like all of your questions.
No, you did. I love it, girl. I love it. When you said Georgia, Georgia,
Yeah,
Georgia.
my accent changes based on what city I'm in. It's very crazy.
Wow.
Like the way that I'm talking right now is
Yeah.
because I've been living here and hearing people talk. But if you take me back home, my dad lives in Lithonia.
Oh,
So it's like so it's just like, the my accent changes depending on who I'm with. It's very funny.
that's crazy, girl. I do gotta say, so I had an event at Taquerias de Sabor. It's a taco restaurant, and my girl Trinity and her mom came. Much love. I didn't know, Trent, that you were Puerto Rican too. That was the
Yep.
shocking part. Because I start changing the music, then you know what I'm saying? So I was like, Trim, we gotta dance. You're like, but I don't really dance. I don't really dance. I said, don't worry, girl. Just eat your taco. You'll be okay. And so she was eating it quick. You know what I'm saying? And so we
Yeah.
started dancing, but it was so dope because I had a good time and your mom had a good time too. And it was nice because I got to, the way I see it is like meeting your family, right? Mama is part of your family. That means I got to see the other side of Trinity that I don't really see. I see her in the acting world in the movies, but I never saw her with her family. So I got a little ching glimpse of the real Trin. You know what I'm saying? The real Trin. But yeah, girl. So real quick, I always wanted to know this. So your mom is Puerto Rican, and
Mm.
what's your dad?
My dad is Black.
Okay, okay.
We don't know what kind,
Ooh.
but so here's the thing. The rumor in my family is that we're Native. Is that my dad's side is Native, but we don't like, or at least let me not talk for my family because maybe the message just hasn't gotten to me. I don't know what I am, but I know that my dad is Black.
Okay.
I want to take an ancestry test just so I can like clear the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother's Puerto Rican, and she is actually German Puerto Rican. So when Puerto Rico was getting colonized, Germans did it as well. So we are on the German side.
Oh wow. Oh.
Fun freaking fact. I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know either. Snap your fingers.
Fucking
Hey.
yeah, man. Every day you learn something. When my mother told me that, I was like, oh, I'm white. Like that's awesome. So,
Oh man.
but yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Now I do want to say that you did a really cool movie. I just finished watching it with Ali. You did a movie, a short film with Ali, won so many awards, right? And I
Yeah.
gotta say, you did so amazing job. I saw you like your father yelling at you, and then you go into the military. Please tell the fans, like, how did this all happen and the process of this film, the production, and your experience.
Well, the everyone that was included in the production is someone that I consider like within my acting family or my film family, down to the cinematographer TJ, who is the absolute best at what he does within the city that he is in. And I will put him up against, filmmakers in LA. Like I absolutely trust TJ if he told me anything about the industry. It's just he's that guy. And he is a colorist as well. He is an editor. He is a sound guy. He's a director. He's a writer. He's done all these things. And he was behind the camera giving these two, the talented writers, but first time, filmmakers a chance to really just put their vision into something and see what happens. And it was absolutely wonderful to experience. Like it was just great. Like Ali and Logan are the duo that you never expected, but once it happened, it was like fire. Like seeing them work together, it was absolute. Like as actors, we are supposed to be constantly working and constantly putting ourselves into short films and building our film families and doing the thing. And what they had created together was something that every actor or artist should aspire within the industry that they're in, is finding like an accountability buddy where it's like, we're going to do this shit. We're going to hold each other accountable. You're going to have the budget. I'm going to have the creatives. We're going to come together and we're going to do this. And they acted in it. They got the post-production expenses together. Like they came out of pocket for this little short film. And they're even putting together, I don't want to put out their most of their business, but I better see this show on this on some type of network. Like it needs to be seen. There is not yet a show about, like, I don't want to give too much out, but there's not yet a show about, women in the Air Force yet. And anyone can take that idea, but the stories that these two girls have and the amount of talent that they have, nobody can replicate it. So I'll kind of rewind to my first shoot day. I was in a full Air Force uniform in like 90, 100-degree weather. And I was so hot and I was sweating in places that I didn't know that you can have sweat glands in, but they were there. And Ali and Logan, they go to me and they're like, get used to it. Like they were like, imagine Afghanistan. And I was like, fuck. And they were like, yeah, don't complain. We had to do Afghanistan. And I was like, I never asked to be in the military, my guy. I am an actor. I will complain as much as I want to complain. And we did like this 12 times where I had to like fall into the dirt, and I had like a whole bunch of like pebbles like imprinted on my hands. And it was a beautiful day, beautiful scene. I loved it so much. And I actually, we were doing like the scene of like 9/11, I think, like when the bombs went off. So she's like in the Air Force, she's doing the thing, and then the bombs go off. And it's like right at her graduation that something like that happened. So it's like her whole reason as to why she went into the Air Force just completely got flipped into this thing where it's nothing as to what she signed up for. So I can't wait to see that story come to life, because shooting it was like, I felt it, and I felt the story that we were kind of bringing to life. And I was like, I don't know what y'all got to do, but put it on TV because people need to see this. So that's my long spiel to say that the shooting experience was awesome. I love my film family. I love TJ, Ali, and Logan. And I can't wait to see it come to life.
And what's the name of it? I can't remember right now.
Airmen. Thank
you.
Yeah. No, it's I didn't know if we were giving out the name yet. I was like, I'm not sure if we can, but you did it, so I'm doing it too, Airmen.
Thank you. Because I went out with Ali We went out to get tacos, and I'm always eating tacos, so sad. But we were eating tacos,
Mhm.
and she showed
Tacos are
me.
amazing.
Oh, they're fire.
Yeah.
I'm addicted. I think I'm addicted.
Hmm.
And she showed me in her phone the whole movie, and I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, damn, Trinity really did a good job. Like when I saw it, I was like, I want her in my movie.
It's so funny because I love it when you say that because as an actor, I'm always like, I could have used a few more takes. Like only because it's just like like now that you've seen what your result is, now you're examining like all the ways you could have done better. And I'm like, oh my God, like should have done my thing. And I just but it's all a learning experience. And I love it when people say things like that. 'Cause it really warms my heart because I'm like, I'm always thinking about ways that I could do better. So it's just good to know that I'm at least doing good.
Right.
I'm like, okay, something's being received. That's awesome.
Right, right.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that.
Oh yeah, much love. Trinity, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've known you for a while now, and this just popped up in my head. I know it wasn't part of the question, but when we were at the bar at the
Mhm.
Eagles, I met your
Uh-huh.
I met your boo for the first time there. I'm gonna be
Expo.
honest, ex boo. Yes, yes, I was gonna get there. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like him when I first met him. And I couldn't tell you as a friend because here's the thing, all having fun, taking shots, and I could tell at that moment he didn't like that. He was trying to tell you, hey, you need to cool down. But I'm like in my head, and I'm telling my boy Ernie, I'm like, yo, that's how she is. She cool as heck. She a fun person.
Mhm.
And when I found out that y'all not together, I was like, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. The signs.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, it happens a lot. When I was dating somebody, my friends, even my mom didn't say it, but I could tell she didn't like her. But I'm not my mom, my friends, they were like, yo, you I don't know how to tell you, man, but your friend, that girl ain't for you. I couldn't see it because I feel like when you in love, you blind and you don't see the big picture, right? It's hard because you're like, man, that's my boo. You know what I'm saying? With
Mhm.
the flu. You know what I'm saying? So it's so hard to get out of that box. And this with you, Trent. I'm so happy. Even talking to you right now, I feel like you're
Mhm.
so like happy. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Mhm.
know what it is. Maybe it's the tea, or you had some Cheerios. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure, but dang, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I could feel it. I could feel it, and I had to share this because, you know, uh, there's things in my head, and I feel like, I respect everyone's decision in life, and I felt like it wasn't my time. It wasn't because it was still fresh. You guys were only
Mhm.
dating for a little bit, but I had to share that, Bessie, because it just came in my mind. But I'm proud of you. I had to tell you that.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so funny because Allie let me know. She was like, yeah, nobody. Like
That's how she
but I think
said
that's
it.
yeah, she was like, dude, like because she had heard something like that as well, literally about the same situation. And it was one of those things where it's like you weren't the only one. You weren't the only one who caught that. So I think it was just one of those things where it's like when you have friends, trust what they say. And I remember when you did tell me, you looked me in the eyes and you were like, hey, like, cause I know that it was just coming from love, but I remember you just wanting to translate that this was coming from love, not coming from hate, not no, I don't like this guy personally, but you're my friend and this is, something that I feel. So all that to say, it was just really a not even just a situation, but it's like when one, someone shows you who they are, believe them. And two, when someone else says that they see who someone is, if that person is someone who you love, then they might be onto something. So I am very happy right now. And also kind of new. Like I'm in a whole new relationship, and it's not even that new. And it's something that I really think is going to be my last. So I'm happy and I'm excited. My mother's excited. She loves her, new claim son-in-law. So it's actually everything's going pretty well right now.
Damn, look at you, girl, making big headlines. Look at that.
Yeah, no, I'm really in a good place. And also like, you know, the years that pass, there's been a lot. And I think that especially who I was moving with was always just a reflection of where I was at the time. Um, so I'm really glad that it's like new vibrations are bringing around new things, and it can definitely translate into my career, what's going on in my social life, the people that I bring around now. It's just my fucking skin is clear. So, something definitely had to change.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, girl. Maybe it's the camera, but you already look fly. I don't know what you're talking about, but the
I'll be
camera,
honest, it's the
camera.
ring light. It's definitely the ring light.
Oh man, you too funny, you too funny.
Yeah.
But look, Bessie, I know the Zoom about to kick us out. I'm gonna wrap it up, but I'm so happy. I gotta have you back, a part two. Guys, this is the Outlet to Reality. I hold this podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat's Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. Where can my fans find you?
Oh, you can go to Trinity Nicole Acts on Instagram, or just Trinity Swearington. I'm gonna say it like an old person on Facebook.